Hey everyone, Dr. Nuesse from EasyDOTphysicals.com back again with another video, and in this video I want to discuss these THC drinks that are becoming very popular. This is a 5 milligram THC seltzer. They're all different kinds of flavors, there's all different kinds of brands, and specifically what I want to talk about is, can drinking these make you fail a drug test for THC marijuana? So first things first is we're talking about a product that is 100% federally legal. So it doesn't matter if you're in a state that it is recreational legal or prescription legal. This product is federally legal, so we could walk right into a grocery store. As a matter of fact, that's what I did. In Ohio, at least, I walked right into a grocery store. You can get these at gas stations. You can get them anywhere, just over the counter, because as part of the 2018 Farm Bill, products with less than 0.3% THC by volume are 100% federally legal, and that's how this one is actually labeled. It's right there on the label that it's 0.3% THC or less. But it also states that it's 5 milligrams of THC. So with that little amount of THC, can it actually cause you to fail a drug test? All right, so first off, there is a warning right on the back of the can that says it may cause a failed drug test. So it's one of the warnings on the actual packaging on the can, right under the nutrition facts. But we want to put this to the test. So I found a volunteer, and it's important to note that I am using somebody, or I selected somebody that does not use THC, because I wanted to make sure that there was a very clean system that they were putting this into, and does this actually cause them to fail the drug test or not? Because as I've stated in multiple videos on this channel, THC can build up in your system because it can be stored in body fat and then re-released later in time. So if somebody had used THC, smoked marijuana or something like that, and then hadn't for a while and then used this, it wouldn't really give us any clear data. It could be that old use that was causing the failed drug test. So this person was completely clean of THC, only drank one of these cans, and then we tested this person and we found the results. So the assumptions are going to be that technically I don't feel that this should be able to make you fail a drug test. It's such a small amount of THC that you're getting even in one full can. And we're testing at the federal standard, 50 nanograms per milliliter. And that's a pretty high cutoff level. So you have to be over that 50 nanograms per milliliter to actually fail the test. So my assumption would be that this person shouldn't fail just by using one can, drinking one of these cans. And if they do test positive, I would also expect it to clear from their system very quickly. So I'm going to have them test multiple times, at one day after the other, and see kind of the results day after day. So I would expect that if they do fail, it'll be right away, and then they will very quickly clear the THC from their system, because again of how THC is metabolized, and because they don't have any built up in their system, it clears and metabolizes and gets out of their system very quickly. All right, so let's get right to the results. So again, I had this person test themselves right before they consumed this beverage, and as you can see here on the test, they tested negative. Again, these are the Exploro test strips that use the exact same cutoff level as the federal government, the FMCSA, the Department of Transportation, the 50 nanograms per milliliter cutoff. And I will leave links again in the description box below of where you can buy these on Amazon. So they tested negative, and then they drank one of these drinks, just one. And just as an aside, they reported they did not really feel anything. They didn't feel buzzed or particularly relaxed, or they really stated that after drinking just one, and again, this is a person that potentially has no tolerance built up to THC, that they didn't feel anything at all. All right, and then we anxiously waited 24 hours, and exactly 24 hours later, without changing anything, we had them test again. As you can see here, they actually failed. So one line here meaning that they failed. They were above the 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff 24 hours after drinking the drink, which surprised me to some degree. But again, it states right on the can that this could cause a failed drug test. So certainly, even in people that don't use, they can fail a drug test just by drinking this perfectly legal product. All right, so if they failed once, we had to test them again, and we tested them 24 hours later, so meaning 48 hours from the time they consumed the beverage, and here you can see that they passed. They were under the 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff. But it's important to note here, and look at this line, look at the test line. You can see that it's a little bit more faint than it was when they initially tested. So it means that there's still some THC left in this person's system. It's just under the 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff. And then just to be thorough, I had this person test again 24 hours later, and again, they tested negative. So that's what we would expect, that if you aren't using regularly, the THC can't build up in your system. So once you clear that 50 nanogram per milliliter hurdle, or get under that 50 nanogram per milliliter cutoff, I guess we should say, you shouldn't then again be able to tick back over it. Now maybe, potentially, if you drink multiple of these, or maybe you use them regularly, like you're drinking a few of them a week, then potentially the THC could build up in your system, be stored in the body fat, and then maybe you can test positive for a week or 2 weeks, or maybe up to a month. We don't know. All we can prove here is that drinking one of these can and did cause a failed drug test. Again, a failed drug test to the standard from the FMCSA, this 50 nanogram per milliliter standard. All right, so I hope that was helpful and concise. Please leave me any questions that you have in the comment section below. Thanks to all the new members and the subscribers on this channel. And until next time, everybody, stay safe.